Welcome to What in the Smut podcast,
where the books are horny and so are we. I'm Elle.
and I'm Kay. So, what do we got going on this week in the Smutverse?
Don't look so nervous. We're keeping things light this week.
Thank God.
So, author B.K. Borison has written several successful romances, but her most recent book is facing some unexpected controversy. And Now Back to You is a contemporary romance about two competing meteorologists set in Baltimore. However, one of Boris's characters buys a sub from Wawa. Do you get the controversy?
Nope.
If you don't, you are not from Philadelphia and therefore are not so passionate about calling this type of sandwich a hoagie, not a sub, to the point where the Philadelphia Inquirer wrote an entire article about the discussion and reached out to Borison directly to demand that she defend her terminology, which she does, by the way.
I'm all for like a puff piece or whatever in the news.
Yeah.
But make it light and don't make it being angry about the fact that she's using the wrong word. Even if it is kind of in jest, but still, like, come on. There's so much more going on in the world. But I do know that the sub, hoagie, gyro, like all of those, whatever you're going to call it, people are very, very intense with what their preferred name is.
I feel like we're going to get comments because it's a gyro, not a gyro.
Well, I'm from New England and I call it a sub. So
I'm from Michigan and I also call it
Wait,
a sub.
but I feel like gyro or like gyro is when it's like a Greek, like
but that's
with the lamb and the
spelled. You can't just call
I can, and I did. Potato, it's fine.
Incredible.
Don't come at me.
I mean, I would never. I'm just here to gently inform. Borison took it in stride, though. She posted a screenshot of the article on Threads with the caption, "This is the most unserious day of my life."
I love that. People are real serious about it's like the Wawa people are very much serious about Wawa. The Buc-ee's people are very serious about their Buc-ee's. It's the same kind of
regional rivalries almost.
Sure.
I don't know.
We've got Cumberland Farms and that's nothing to...
I was trying to think if there's like anything in the Midwest that we defend so vehemently. Maybe Myers?
I've never heard of it.
It's a grocery chain.
Yeah, no, there's no
They've got good produce.
There's no like gas station, because that's essentially what Wawas are, right?
Yeah.
Like a gas station convenience store.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing up here that I would die on any kind of hill for.
Nope. I'm good. But speaking of getting worked up by unserious things, I have a lot to say specifically about the home buying experience in this week's erotica. Okay?
So this week, we read Taken by the Haunted HDMI Cable by Sinn Lee. And the synopsis says, Sarah has always been fascinated by haunted houses. It's no wonder that she buys the one in her hometown the first chance she gets. She's going to prove to everyone that she can live in a haunted house longer than anyone. She's ready for strange noises and moving furniture. But what she doesn't expect is a haunted HDMI cable with her in its sights. This sexually charged video cable intends to give her a night she never forgets. I hope to forget this. if I'm being entirely honest.
Well, where would you put this one on our smut scale? I'm curious.
Like, we can't even really put it at a 2 because there's not there's a one person and a sentient cable that like is not really sentient because it doesn't, although I suppose like that's saying that's the magic carpet in Aladdin doesn't ever talk, but it's sentient.
Yeah, but like it has a personality. I would argue that the HDMI cable does not have a personality. True. But I also have to argue that the trigger warnings should include dubcon.
Yeah.
In which case we our scale requires that we put it at like a 4.
This was like 1/4. We had another one of those a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah, it's interesting that we've ended up here multiple times. But yes, like this is definitely, I guess we can get into the trigger warnings, but there's definitely dubious consent. Like the HDMI cable ties her up without communication to fuck her without her consent.
There's no negotiation here.
None. No.
There's use of electricity.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of bondage because she is being tied up.
Yep.
And there is that almost non-con, but like, I don't know. Yeah, there were parts of this that made me a little uncomfy.
Yeah, I completely agree. What did reviewers have to say about it?
So this had not too many reviews. I think it was like under 30 on both platforms. So there's a 3.6 on Amazon, a 3.2 on Goodreads. And a 2-star from Amazon was actually pretty funny for like an actual legitimate review for a sentient object romance short story.
Yeah.
It says, I'd hoped for something light, preposterous, and funny. Instead, the more I read, the more confused I became. Too many cables, too much confusing anatomy, not enough fun or sexy fantasy. As a statement about erotic parody, I suppose it's okay, as long as the statement is, wow, this makes sex tedious. The basic writing was fine, but the book probably needs to be rewritten from the ground up. Mind mapping the concept and taking it to the fringes. Less tech, more sex, and more humor. It could still work.
Yeah.
For me, it missed the mark. It wasn't sexy enough or absurd enough, and I kept losing track of what part was going where and why. Like,
I agree.
It's a great review.
No, this is exactly it. And I feel like as a reader of and enjoyer of sentient objects smut, I think this is a very fair assessment of the story that we read.
I agree. And it was a 2-star, but it wasn't like, this was so weird and I'm giving it a 2-star because this was out of the realm of anything I've ever read before. It was like,
this was someone who knew what they were looking for in a sentient object romance and did not receive it.
Yeah. So that was an interesting one. A 4-star says, interesting. Just when you think you've seen/heard it all, something else crops up. If you can suspend your disbelief that having the head of an HDMI cable stuffed inside of you can feel anything but painful as it scrapes up your delicate inner bits, then this might be a pretty enjoyable. The author has a decent grasp on spelling and grammar, and it's a short sort of read that you can do in a couple minutes. So if you're into techno-erotic, you just might like this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure. This 3-star is us on Goodreads. How do I even begin to explain? I found out about this book's existence by watching The Late Show with Colbert.
I wish that Colbert had read a different one.
I mean, I guess given that he mentioned the Morning Glory Milking Farm, which is like the pinnacle entry-level monster romance.
That's true.
He had to go to the complete other end of the spectrum. But he should have read Unhinged.
Yes. But also, I feel like Unhinged, without showing the cover and kind of giving the little background, it is a little bit more like, this is like quite literally in the title.
Yes, you're so
the
right.
Insanity.
Yeah, you need the shock factor of the title.
Yeah.
But at which point you could have gone with like anything by Chuck Tingle.
True. And that another
I have
one.
A bone to pick with the writers for The Late Show.
We should get Colbert on here and have him read a book with us.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, he's retiring from late night.
He
so
is.
Maybe he needs some
He's
hobbies.
Also pretty devout Catholic.
That is true.
I don't think that. Well, not to mention Colbert's not going to come on our podcast.
I was like, what else could possibly be preventing him? Aside from all of the things.
A couple million listeners, that's all.
Probably. Friends, listeners, commenters, could you please?
Let's get Colbert.
Yeah. In the meantime, our final review this week is a 4-star from Goodreads that says, lol, Sarah is a lucky lady. Her aunt and uncle sold her this beautiful house at such a great price, and all because it is haunted. Sarah does not believe in ghosts, though, and thinks her aunt and uncle are being a little silly. I think her aunt and uncle are assholes for not warning her that an HDMI cable was going to seduce her and crawl up her vagina.
Same.
No notes.
Also, there's like, it goes back and forth with her aunt and uncle sold her the house. But then it's talking about how like other people had moved in and out of this house too. So it was a little, yeah.
The continuity of the story in these, 17 pages was questionable
11.
at best. Was it only 11?
11 pages.
So it's a quick read if you'd like to come back to us.
Yeah. It's a very, very quick read. The link for it will be in our show notes. And as always, we will be going down the full plot if there's one for us to find. There will be spoilers, but if you want to give this one a read, we will be right here waiting for you when you get back. Ready to get into it?
Yes. Let's get into it because I have so many problems. Here's the deal. We get nothing. We get nothing. Sinn Lee is giving us nothing. So our main character thinks haunted houses are silly, but she really wants to live in one for some reason. When I planned on getting a home, I wanted to live in the haunted house that I'd heard about my entire life. I'd show everyone just how silly they were. After all, it was surely just a house like any other.
It's almost like that. Yeah, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
But also, I want to live in this house. It's close to the woods, but it's near the street, so I'm not scared.
Yeah, it was viewable from the road, which made me think that if I'd ever lived there, I'd feel safe because other people would always be driving by and in sight of the house.
So what are you nervous about? Are you nervous about the fact that like you are in view of the street because you think it's haunted? Or like if it was not a haunted house, would you be fine with living in the woods, deep in the woods, if it was not haunted? Like what?
Well, and so this particular house in her hometown had new families moving in almost every 6 months, it appears. There'd be rumors that the new homeowners heard sounds or things shifted around inside the house. Basically, your usual strange occurrences, which might keep people awake at night or on edge. I mean, okay.
It's not going to be a usual occurrence if the people are moving out every 6 months because to purchase and then consequently sell a house
in that short period,
you decided in a matter of days after moving in that nope, we're done, we're gonna list this.
That's crazy. That's crazy, but not as crazy as this life story, which is that she grew up and graduated high school and got a decent job in town selling cell phones at a local store. It was honestly the easiest and best paying job I could hope for. Everyone in the town was fantastic and the reception in the area was superb. It was easy to sell cell phones to everyone and rake in the commission. So needless to say, at the age of 20, I was making enough to live on my own.
Oh.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Making commission on let's be generous. Let's be generous and say that every single person, every single year is buying the latest iPhone.
Yeah.
For $1,700. And we'll say that none of them are on a cell phone plan that gives them an upgrade or a discount on the upgrade. So every single person in town is buying every single person in their family $1,700 phone. Even if you're making like a 20% commission, which would be
huge.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Which would be crazy. That this is clearly a small town. You can't you're making like, I'm going to lose my mind.
And this is also like, even in this type of town, like you could be a real estate agent and not be making enough money to live comfortably.
Right.
Where like your commission is a lot bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is
mean,
crazy.
you could be the real estate agent on this haunted house and be not making enough money, and it's being sold every 6 months.
This is a 17-year-old who does not understand how money works or how home buying works, writing a story. Good for this person.
I hope that they're 18, though, because this is a sex story.
Good point. But I went with 17 because they clearly haven't graduated high school yet. I'm curious how Stephen Colbert's team found this book.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
Maybe we've got one of our listeners on here, perhaps, is into the sentient object. Maybe one of our listeners has works for him. If that's the case, hook us up.
Please. I'm so curious. I'm so curious because this is this is a very obscure sentient object romance. Like, my point about using a Chuck Tingle novel for the shock factor of the title, Chuck Tingle is a very well-known erotica writer. Like, where did you find this is all I'm asking.
So, also, moving day came and I requisitioned a few friends to help me move my furniture, and the dozen or so boxes I had. That's all.
That's it.
That's all. Dozen or so boxes. Wow.
She's moving out of her parents' house. She's got nothing.
But I suppose she did have a couch that she moved.
True, that she'd fallen asleep on many times.
So I don't think she's taking her parents' couch.
I
But
doubt it.
a dozen boxes is just not enough.
I mean, I have less of an issue with this because, I moved across the country with 2 suitcases.
No.
What do you mean?
Where did all of your stuff go? What do you mean 2 suitcases? Did you get rid of all your clothes?
Most of them, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't have very many clothes. I wasn't a clothes girly growing up either, so.
2 suitcases. This is diabolical. I brought 2 suitcases with me to study abroad in London for 1 semester.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't even... What? This is wild. No.
This is Elle lore.
I guess you're much more minimalist than I am. I am...
Not these days. No, these days I've accumulated so much stuff. So the house that she's always dreamed of living in, the haunted house, is owned by her aunt and uncle. And she decided she'd move into it by herself and buy it off of them. She's never been inside.
Which is in her town.
Uh-huh.
Her aunt and uncle owned it.
Uh-huh. She's obsessed with it. Her aunt and uncle own it. She wants to live in it. She wants to move to it.
She wants to buy it from them, and she's never stepped foot inside.
She's never stepped foot inside. I guess that her friends are betting on how quickly she's
going to move out.
She's going to move out. And so if she managed to stay in the house an entire year, she's going to be $200 richer.
And also the fact that $200, she's like, yes, I'm going to be $200 richer. I just bought this house, but I'll be able to pay the cable bill for a month.
Literally, the fact that she's so excited about being $200 richer is just such an indication that this person has no idea what the scale of money is to purchase a house.
Yeah, I agree.
Not to say that $200 isn't a good sum of money to have. It's it'll pay one of your bills, but $200 in a year is less than the interest you could earn on a high yield savings account for what you paid for the house.
Oh man. So after her friends helped her move in, she thanked them and they got the hell out of Dodge.
They didn't even want to stick around for pizza. People were so weird sometimes. This is such an irresponsible home buyer because she's never seen the house before moving in.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know. She was expecting it to be rotted and broken, but each new homeowner had repaired or replaced something different and kept the rest well maintained. If you're looking at a house, you need to know when the furnace was replaced, when was the roof redone. When was the last time the HVAC system was updated? What are you doing? What are you doing? She never looked into the records of the homeowners. She doesn't know how old the house is. She doesn't know anything.
Yeah. This was something. We got a lot of and I have a note of it, a lot of telling. Like, I did this, I did that. This read very much like a high school creative writing project.
Yep.
So it was a small house, and it was like it was designed especially for me. I could turn the guest room into a storage room and have my big TV downstairs in the living room. I could also stick my couch down there. Where else would your couch go?
Obviously. That's where the couch goes. This is a person who's lived in their own room in their parents' house. I'm telling you, this person has never lived on their own.
Maybe. I absolutely adored my couch as it was so comfortable. I'd fallen asleep many a night on that couch. This reads like J.D. Vance talking about his couch. So then it's after midnight, and she decides that it's been a productive day, so she needs to take a shower. I'm not taking a shower after midnight.
After moving all day and like hauling furniture, well, I guess she only had 20 boxes, and apparently she had a lot of friends to move them. So you know what? You're right. There's not a lot of activity going on.
She wasn't, and it's not like it was the dead of summer, and I was
sweaty.
Like,
yeah.
She just had a productive day. No, I'm
No,
not showering after midnight. I'm not. And then you gotta either dry your hair or go to bed with wet hair.
Yeah,
but anyway, she decides to grab a pair of panties and a tank top. And, as always, the panties need to be the sexy color panties. So we're going with black panties and a black tank top.
Of course. At least I didn't have to wait forever for warm water. This place wasn't so bad. You should know when the water heater was replaced.
I wonder if this was done. I mean, obviously it was done sight unseen. So do you think an inspection was skipped because it's haunted?
Of course. An inspection was skipped. We don't know how old the house is.
Also, she decides again after midnight. I guess at 20 I wasn't tired after midnight either.
Sure.
She decides she's not tired, so I'm going to go watch TV. Also, I don't know about you. Cable and internet being hooked up the day you move in?
Nope.
No.
Well, these days I'm very good about it because we work remotely. So like it is necessary that the new place have internet like as soon as we're in it.
Yeah, but like I guess it's a little different now. Also though, this book was written in like 2015, I think.
Okay, yeah, in 2015, absolutely not.
Right? Like it would take almost 2 weeks sometimes for you to get them in to set stuff up. Now you can go into the store, pick up your router and call it a day.
Yeah.
But like, you know?
Yep.
So she's gonna collapse on the couch and see if there's anything good on the TV. Now, I do have to say that when I move into a new place, then the first thing I do is get my bed set up and get my bed made.
Yes.
So that once I'm done and I've decided I'm done for the day, I can just crash and I don't have to put sheets on the bed. So like that part, but I don't know about like making sure I get my TV set up before anything else. Like,
I mean, she's very obsessed with where she's going to put her big TV.
That's true.
So
that's an excellent point. So, but a little message popped up saying no signal. That's because you don't have internet yet, ma'am.
You don't have cable. You don't have anything. Because you didn't think to call the ISP and get things transferred over to the new location. And now you have to wait 2 weeks for a technician to show up sometime between the hours of 9 a.m. and 7 p.m.
It's sometime during the week.
Yeah.
The cable box isn't connected to the TV. Again,
the cable box is hooked up, but not connected to the TV.
Yes. Also, the fact that there's a cable box is very much a dating this book.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know anybody with cable anymore. I guess my parents still have cable.
But, like, do they have a cable box? Or is it, like, is that still a thing?
I don't know.
Or is it just like
I mean, my
you...
parents, do your parents not have like 5 different remotes for different things? One of which is probably the cable box, one of which is the surround sound system that no one knows how to work.
Yeah.
I assume there's a cable box in there somewhere, but it's not my job to know. That's between my dad and God.
So she's like, I don't think I have an HDMI cable, which that's realistic. Cause like if I don't have spare HDMI cables laying around.
I do. And if you're so obsessed with your TV, I feel like you would.
I mean,
But I don't know. I also have a bunch of them laying around because they come with like monitors and stuff.
Might have, but I don't know because they're just all tangled up in a box with a bunch of cables. So there's a possibility too.
Fair.
So she heads to the large closet where she shoved a bunch of boxes. You came here with 12. How many boxes are in this closet?
Mm-hmm.
What was in the other ones? What are in the boxes that you just shoved in this closet that you don't need right away in your 12 boxes of things?
Mm-hmm.
Hard-hitting questions here. But she finds an HDMI cable on the floor in the closet, and it is 12 feet long.
I mean, that is a standard length for an HDMI cable.
Okay.
6 feet,
Sure.
12 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weirdly specific. It makes me wonder if the author experimented with length to see if it would be long enough to tie her up while also making a phallic shape. I'm curious. So she finds this HDMI cable in the closet and notices that the one end is normal and the other end is split. There are 2 ends to it. And she was like, oh, I can plug one end into the cable box and the other into my Blu-ray.
Again,
that's
very
dating.
dated.
And what's interesting about Blu-ray specifically is that it's such like a narrow dating. Because, like, I feel like there was just such a brief period where we evolved from DVDs, where Blu-ray was, like, the next big technology.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, Blu-ray is, like, better in every way. But then, like, the moment that everyone, like, tried to get a Blu-ray player because DVD players couldn't play a Blu-ray, it was like we moved almost entirely digital. It's such a fascinating evolution.
What was before Blu-ray though? There was
like a brief
the size of it though, it was like the size of a record.
Yeah. It was Laserdisc.
Yes, my aunt and uncle had the Laserdisc.
Yeah, Laserdisc is even shorter lived than Blu-ray. Yeah. Anyway, we are dating ourselves.
Very much so. So there's just so much description about this, like setting the scene without actually giving me any idea of what the scene is.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like we've gotten so many descriptions, but 0 details.
Yes.
Even with hundreds of channels, I couldn't find anything to watch. Maybe it was because it was so late at night. I shifted around on the couch and stretched my legs, laying on my side to face the TV. It wasn't long before my eyes became heavy and started to close. I flipped another channel, finding some show about doctors. But when the commercials came, my eyelids slid shut. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. But when she wakes up, she's in darkness and is surprised that she's in darkness.
Like,
why did the HDMI cable turn off the lights? I have to know.
Because it was creeping.
It was creeping. She wakes up and the chandelier light is off and the TV is still on, but has the no signal message again.
Which that's creepy to wake up with.
Yeah. In the dark.
I mean,
with the
when you
TV
were watching
disconnected?
something and then the TV is all of a sudden disconnected, that's a little bit haunted.
Yeah. That's got haunted house vibes for sure.
Yeah. So then she catches movement down by her feet. This I was like, absolutely the fuck not. No way.
Absolutely the fuck not.
I gasped and pulled my feet up onto the couch. Was it a snake? That would be my first thought. And
of course.
So she catches the glint of metal as something curls around her feet. Now, mind you, she had lifted her feet onto the couch, which you were asleep and your feet were not already on the couch. Were you asleep sitting up? Because that's wild. And it starts constricting around her ankles. It had a rough texture, not sleek like a snake. This does not make me at all on board with any of what's going to happen. This rough
I
texture.
completely agree.
And then the head of it comes up and she stares right at it, and it's not a snake. It's the tip of an HDMI cable.
Yes. As she stared at it, it just wiggled and loomed in front of her face as if it was inspecting her. Her hands are shaking, and knowing that her grip wasn't hindering it, she lets go of the cable.
Nope.
Was I high? This was a dream. Oh God, this had to be a dream.
The soft, rubbery head caressed her cheek.
But like, what? There's not enough, like, hang on a second. We need...
You're going to pull out an HDMI cable?
You're damn right I am. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Here is an HDMI cable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got to make it go like,
yeah, sure, fine. What soft rubbery head? Like, if the cable itself is rough, because she's got like a cheap ass one from who even knows, because
15.
we don't know how old the house is. Sure, 2015, but like, actually 2015. HDMI in 2015?
Yeah.
That's like still kind of cutting edge for TV, for cable boxes. Wouldn't you on a cable box still have a VGA? Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. But I digressed. The head of it, if it has like a rubber around the head, like you're still dealing with this pointy metal part on the end.
And that's sharp. Now, my question is, what is the other side? For the listeners, Elle is rubbing this against her face right now. Is it doing anything for you?
No, it's not erotic in the slightest. I'm not on board.
So her vision seems hazy, but then the head of the cable pulls back and seems to look at her again, and then darts past my lips and into my mouth. I pulled my head back, I couldn't get away from it. I fell over onto the couch, but the head of the cable was still in my mouth. The connector pressed to my tongue, and I immediately felt a tingling shock, as if I was touching my tongue to a battery. The strange sensation flowed through me, and it felt oddly exotic. Exotic or erotic?
I think she meant erotic, because exotic is not like really appropriate.
It taste like coconuts?
The top of the HDMI cable had me so distracted that I didn't notice what the split-ended bottom was doing until it was too late. There's a lot of forced erotic action occurring here.
Uh-huh.
I don't love it.
I don't love it.
God, I forgot about this part. The split bottom had hooked into my panties and was tugging them down my hips. The cable was uniquely strong and quick. She leans up to try to pull the cable away and retrieve her panties, and as she does, the tingling in my tongue increased, and I felt my torso and arms go numb.
So did she get tased?
It kind of sounds like she got tased.
She eases back down and lays there. And it says, apparently the cable didn't want me interfering with whatever it had planned for me. Now, the only thing that makes this not as horrifying as truly it really is the fact that we're in her head the whole time. And she's not like scared or saying no, or like, we're not getting the indication that she's not okay with what's happening.
Yeah.
But we're also not getting consent.
Correct.
Not great.
And she is fully restrained, and it is forcing her to comply.
Yes.
Not just with restraints, but with shock.
Yes. So the two ends snaked up my legs. The gold-plated tips sent little shocks through my skin, making me gasp as those little tingling sensations traveled further and further up my smooth, bare legs. Now, when we were at the Smut Lovers Conference, we got to do the dungeon demo, which was very cool. And we got to see a lot of different toys. Not necessarily all toys. There was like some wax. There was some ropes. There was like all sorts of things. But one of the things was electricity, essentially.
Yes.
And I got to test a Tesla coil gun. It's on my arm. And it is a very cool sensation. Did you try it?
I did not, because my
No.
hands were.
Oh, right.
I was very soon post-surgery at that point.
So I got to sample some of that electricity. It is a cool feeling. So I can understand this. And I was like, okay, some people are like, absolutely not. I'm afraid of electricity. And
Sure.
absolutely understandable.
Fair. Yep. This was the only part that kind of worked for me.
Yeah.
And like was a point in the author's favor where I was like, it's an HDMI cable. There's some element of electricity to it. I'm on board. I like that that's part of the experience and the senses that we're playing with here. I think this makes sense, and I like it. I like the idea, at least.
So then we get, I shrieked in a gasp of pleasure as a little tingle escaped the metal and flowed into my clit. I mean,
I don't know.
But also I wish we got more than this. This is also probably coming from someone that has no experience in something like that. So if you don't have experience in it, you can't write what the feeling is, kind of thing. But like, I don't know if somebody's reading this and they had experimented with electricity in the bedroom.
Yeah.
This could be like, oh, I know what that's like or whatnot.
Right. But like, that's literally all we get, because it like the tingle escaped the metal and flowed into my clit. My fingers clutched tufts of the couch as my eyes went wide. The electric feeling stopped, and the cable rubbed delicately against my clit, still causing considerable stimulation. Like, it's almost clinical. Like, we're getting like a play-by-play
stimulation.
Yeah, but like little shocks. Like, give me sensation. Like, I'm doing all of the work here to imagine what this might feel like, and the author is giving me nothing.
Yes, we're getting very much of the tell, not show.
I agree.
So she still thinks that she's dreaming. We get the second end of the cable eased into my pussy. It twisted and turned as it worked its way inside, delving deeper inside of me. Portions of the cable began to curve and twist within me, rubbing the mesh cover of the cable against my delicate passage.
That's gonna suck. This is like fucking the fabric dong from Stuffed.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is like putting a mitten on a penis or something.
Yes.
But yes, no, you're much closer with the fabric dong. All of this seems to work for her, though, because without knowing why, I'd begun sucking on the cable in her mouth, feeling the rough mesh between my soft silken lips. The rough, stop saying it's rough.
Stop it. I don't like the rough mesh. Also, I don't think I've ever called my own lips silken.
And also, like, when romance writers write silken lips, they're not usually talking about the ones on your face either.
No. But we are going to get an entire paragraph about why she's dreaming about this and why it's okay that she's dreaming about it, which is unnecessary.
It does say, I was no stranger to sexual dreams, a dream where I might find a cute guy and try to get him to fuck me. Surely this was no different. Okay.
It's a little bit different. I have a lot of quibbles, but there's that. It's a little bit different. The split end of the cable, which had delved deep inside me, was relentless in its affections. If an HDMI cable could even be affectionate. It squirmed and rubbed deep inside me, then gradually it pulled out. I tilted my head to look down at it. I watched as it curved back on itself and wrapped the mesh cord in a coiling fashion around the end, as if to create an even thicker, phallus-like cable protrusion.
Now, here's the thing. I could get more on board with this. If we were not continually being reminded that this was not a like smooth cable.
Yes.
This was a rough, and like I have a cable in front of me right now that's almost like fabric wrapped.
Yeah.
That's what that's making me think of. Like, this does not feel nice to me.
Right. No.
Like, if it was a regular regular
like this one that I
rubber
have.
cable.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I could be much more. And then the coil's going to give it ribs.
Sure.
Like, I could be much, much more on board with this.
But the fact that it's a meshed, like, fabric rough cable that crawled out of the closet of this unknown aged house.
It's dusty.
It's dusty.
There could be asbestos.
Asbestos,
lead.
Mouse poop, lead paint. You don't know. You don't know because you don't know how old the house is. We don't know what regulations were in place when it was built.
It's well before the date where lead paint was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with, like, heavy metal toxicity. I'm upset.
I think this would need to be a
recurring
activity
in
order for it to build up that much.
Okay, fair, but at the very least, she's gonna have a really bad case of BV.
Yeah, that's true. From the mouse poop.
Yeah, at the minimum.
But I'd be more concerned with the mouse poop being a poisonous kind of, because you can get really, really sick from that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I also, another shock from the connector at my clit made me gasp. My own moistness was slickening the cable for smoother penetration. It's just so clinical.
Yes, but also the fact that, like, she wasn't moist, gross, before, and it was rough. It's just not. She's going to be feeling it for days, and not in, like, a good way. The corded mass pushed back and forth, just as my last lover had, though this cable seemed far more endowed and confident in its abilities to please me. That's all. We have nothing to say about that. Yeah. So the part that was in her mouth finally pulled out of her mouth and dipped right down into my top. It curled around and squeezed on my breasts. The electric head found one of my perky nipples and decided my nub needed stimulation as well. I can get on board with that.
Like, there's so much of this that could work. So much that could work. Where, like, yes, multiple points of stimulation, clit, nipples, like, well endowed. If it were a smooth cable, if we had better descriptions. I so firmly agree with the reviewer that was like, there's something here, but it needs to be rewritten from the ground up.
Yeah, agreed.
The three ends of the entire cable were working in unison now. Like, it could work. It could work.
So, with another jolt and thrust, I gasped. My fingers tightened against the couch as I came for the HDMI cable. Why are you coming for the cable and not for yourself is the
question. That's the issue that we have here.
Yes.
My body quivered into such a blissful orgasm.
Like, give me more.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that orgasm that we get no information about, which the cable seems to work her through the orgasm, which is great.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But my heart raced and my eyes closed. In my fatigue, everything went black as I passed out. Like, I feel like that's a man thing.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So then she fell asleep on the couch, wakes up and it's raining. She turns the TV on to check the weather channel, wondering how long the rain would last.
This is insane behavior. In 2015, when you work at a cell phone store, you have a smartphone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What are you doing? Are you an 80-year-old man?
Perhaps. But we're getting that no signal message again. She can't check the weather channel. And also, like, the weather channel is not going to be so specific into your small area of the country as to when the rain is going to stop. So there's that.
She's confused by the no signal because didn't she find an HDMI cable to plug it in?
We had thought,
but she remembers her dream and hurries up to check the back of the TV, and there was no HDMI cable in sight. All the boxes were pulled out of the closet. There was nothing but an empty floor, no HDMI cable, just an empty closet. I spent the rest of the day searching every inch of my haunted house, but I never found the HDMI cable. Ooh.
So spooky. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's where we end.
Yep.
How do you rate this one?
This is a 1 for me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't good. I could have been so much more on board.
Yeah.
We've read such weird but really interesting and well-written sentient object romance novels, and this just was not on par with what we are used to.
No, I completely agree. I'm going with half of a star.
Oh, okay.
You get half of a star because the idea has merit.
Yep.
And some of the pieces here could have worked. Electricity as part of this is inspired, but none of the rest of it worked for me. There wasn't enough detail about the sex. There was too many telling sentences about the scene that we were trying to set with none of the detail that would make it immersive.
Yep.
I just wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more. But I know that we didn't have a whole lot to work with here. I think we get a passing mention to the fact that she has blonde hair.
Yes, we did.
But how did you cast this one?
So I only cast Sarah because,
of course,
the HDMI
whose name
cable.
we don't get in the story, by the way.
Yeah, we just get it in the synopsis, huh?
In the synopsis. And no one ever calls her by name.
Well, because there's no dialogue. I think that that's part of my issue with this book, too. I like dialogue. I like banter.
Yeah.
But there's no dialogue whatsoever. So we don't
even get anything with her friends. Like, oh, Sarah, I bet you can't last a whole year in this house. It's too creepy. Whatever. Like, we get nothing. We got nothing.
Yeah. So Sarah, I cast Ariel Vandenberg. She's an actress that is also, was the host of Love Island for at least one season.
Okay. I will be honest, she does not look 20.
No. She's probably closer to in between our ages, I would think.
Okay, that's what I would have guessed, somewhere in her 30s.
Yes, but she's funny. Like, she's a good follow on social media. She's funny. She I feel like would be okay with doing a weird role like this, because she'll do some goofy things. But yeah, there was not a lot to work with. I went with someone that was blonde and a little bit goofy.
I like it.
She's a good follow on social media.
Something good came out of this episode there.
So what are we reading next week?
Next week, we are revisiting an author that it has been a while. We're going to read Thea Mason's My Date with Caps Lock. I'm excited.
I did take a quick peek at the synopsis for this one, and the main character is a romance author, so this should be an interesting one.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a potluck.
It's a group project. Yep, it is.
With other authors who did
some of our favorites, in fact.
Really? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a whole
Holly
list.
Wild, Vera Valentine, Unfortunate
Nicole
Reads,
Parker,
a lot of our favorite
Sylvia Morrow. Wow, this series could keep us busy.
This is like the queens of sentient object romance novel writing, and all work together on this series.
Fantastic. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. My Date with a Pair of Gray Sweatpants by Dakota Cockaday and Cassiopeia. I'm obsessed. All of these books need to be on our list. But are you reading anything outside of the podcast?
So now that there's been a ruling on the
Crave series.
Yes, the Crave series. It was ruled by a judge that she did not take any.
It was not copyright infringement.
Yes. So I did start reading that now that I was like, okay, it's safe to read now. Then that is by Tracy Wolff. What about you? Anything good?
No, not a damn thing. But I am traveling next week, so maybe I'll read something. I've been excited to read. There is a book based on the SCP, which is an old internet thing. And the book is called There Is No Anti-Memetics Division. And it just got published this year, and I've been looking forward to it, but haven't had the chance to start it yet.
I love that for you. Well, if you've made it this far, we appreciate you. This was a weird one, even by our standards. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, watch our YouTube videos, leave a comment.
Hook us up with a intro to Stephen Colbert.
Yes, or anyone else that likes to read crazy romance novels too. Let us know. We love to have guests on with us.
It's true.
But with that,
we're at our wits' end.
I'll see you next time.